Good morning, everyone. So we can begin the webinar. Thank you all for joining today's webinar. My name is Zohaib and I'm from the pre-sales consultant, CyberDisti Middle East. And CyberDisti, so we are actually a trusted value-added cybersecurity distributor providing end-to-end cybersecurity solutions, and we are dedicated to safeguard your most valuable data and digital assets to ensure a secure online environment. And we have our comprehensive suite of cutting-edge solutions that is tailored to meet the unique challenges which businesses face day-to-day, daily basis. And we have our headquarters located in Dubai, Silicon Oasis, and we have other regional offices in Oman, India, and Africa. So right now, I would like to hand over to Mr. Akash, who is from the GTB Technologies, DLP. So he'll be showcasing you about how the DLP will work, how it is useful for your environment. So I would like to hand over to Mr. Akash. Yes, Mr. Akash, you can go ahead.
Thanks, Web. Thanks for that. Let me share my screen. Hello all. Thanks for joining in this session. Very good morning and good afternoon to everyone. I'm Akash. I'm one of the technical and pre-sales consultant for GTB, and I look after the Middle East region. So what I've planned today is to give you a walkthrough of GTB Technologies, the endpoint DLP, to give you an overview on its capabilities and how we can help customers safeguard and protect their sensitive data within the organization. So I've created an agenda for the session. We'll have a quick introduction on the GTB Technologies, a brief background, our key capabilities and our differentiators. How are we different from the legacy players in the market? How do we fit in the data security program? A quick glance on the high-level architecture on our different modules. I've also listed down a few key use cases with respect to the data protection. We'll also go through a demo, followed by we'll be open to taking your questions if there's any. Right? Before we proceed or before we start off, I just had a quick question. I mean, none of you have to answer. Just think about it yourself. What if someone comes to you today and asks you where is the company's most important or most sensitive data residing and who has access to it? None of us would be able to answer it confidently, right? Exactly. So that nowadays data breaches is not happening with sophisticated hackers or major compromises. It starts with normal or trusted users. And it starts with very simple mistakes like exfiltrating a file to an unknown destination, or sending it to your mobile devices or personal devices, or sending it through email or to any unauthorized destinations. And this is done without even realizing the impact it has on the business, right? So this is the exact reason why DLP is no longer optional anymore. That doesn't mean we are blocking or restricting the people or users from their daily business. No, it is just about safeguarding and protecting the organization's data while allowing the business to grow faster. So this is the exact problem statement what we are going to address in the next 30 or 40 minutes in this session, where we'll address each and every capabilities and how we can help the customers protect their sensitive data within the organization. A quick introduction about GTB Technologies. We are a 2-decade-old company, 22 years old in the market, in data security business. As a global leader in the market, we're headquartered in Florida, where we are actively protecting sensitive data for organizations across North America, Europe, Asia, Middle East, Latin America, basically across the globe. And our solution provides in real-time protection of data and monitoring, whether it is on-premise, off-premise, and in cloud environments, covering all the 3 major OS, whether it is Windows, Linux, or Mac. We'll definitely deep dive into all of these capabilities in the coming slides. These are some of the awards and accolades. Technology certifications and rankings by different entities are present under Gartner. We are rated 4.9 out of 5 in Gartner Peer Insights. These are some of the ratings and the testimonials. You can always have a look at it in our website. What do we do? How are we different from legacy players in the market? What are the key capabilities? First and foremost, we have enterprise level advanced DLP capabilities to protect your data across different channels: email, web, USB, external device, applications, network. We also have data discovery and data classification. So unlike any legacy players in the market, GTB need not integrate with any third-party engines for classification, because GTB as a solution has our own built-in classification engine. So the dependency for the third-party integration or a different agent for classification to work or a different agent for DLP has been completely eliminated here. So with one single solution, you'll have data classification, data discovery, as well as DLP, without any complications in terms of integrations, configurations. Everything has been eliminated, right? We also have real-time monitoring and protection of data with virtual zero false positive with the help of digital fingerprinting technology. Scalable and flexible deployment. So here, GTB comes with an ISO all-in-one package, which has built-in database and OS to set up your service. So your investment cost on licensing for OS or investment on database and the resource to manage all your database is completely eliminated here. We have built-in OS and database with a packaged ISO image, hardened OS, which you can download, and you can import it to any of your virtualized environments. Within 30 minutes, the server is up and running. It is just a plug-and-play mechanism. Download the ISO image, import it to any of your virtualized environment with the necessary prerequisites. Within 30 minutes, the server is up and running. We are also cloud ready. If the customer wants to go for private cloud hosting, if they have their private clouds, Azure, GCP, AWS, we can provide the image there. They can host it on their private cloud. We also offer SaaS. We can host the servers for you as per the compliance within the necessary regions, whether in India, UAE, Bahrain, and then we can help you with the SaaS offerings. Right. Now coming to one of the major topics or the hot topics these days, AI. So no work is happening without AI in any company. Companies, even the end users on their day-to-day basis use AI. Even for the smallest of smallest work, like sending emails to the complex situations, AI is the go-to friend now. So, but at the same time, I'm sure it is improving the performance and efficiency of the company as well as the end user. But unknowingly, there are some sensitive information which is getting leaked or which is getting exfiltrated via these AI sites. And these days, we are also getting to know about some of the senior officers who have exfiltrated some sensitive data of the organization. Right? How do you protect that? So that is where GTB comes into picture. GTB can help in identifying, monitoring, and preventing any data exfiltrations happening on any of your Gen AI sites, LLMs, or any AI chatbots. Definitely, we will not be able to block AI because that is not the whole purpose. But the purpose here is to block the sensitive data from exfiltration. So for that, any other chats or questions you have with AI, definitely you can go ahead and check with it. But again, in any case, if you're trying to exfiltrate any data or trying to upload any file which is sensitive to the organization, that is where we come into picture and restrict you, or giving you the visibility or giving the admin the visibility that the user was trying to upload some sensitive data on this particular AI site. Right. We also have a built-in policy, around 500 plus built-in policies with respect to different regions, ensuring the compliance coverage as well. Seamless integration with all the cloud repositories, major cloud repositories, to have the visibility on the data at rest, and also help you in classifying them. Also, we have integrations with Active Directory, SIM solutions, SIEMs to forward all the logs so that you can monitor everything at one single location. Next is we'll discuss on how do we fit in the data security program. As all of us are aware, data security is not a tool, it is a journey, what we go through. And these are the top five critical layers of the data security journey. Right? So here with GTB, with one single solution, you are covering the three foundational aspects or the layers of data security program. Right? That is data discovery, data classification and tagging with DLP capabilities. So if at all, if you want to stop the data loss prevention, first you need to identify where is your data. Without having visibility of data, you'll not be able to apply or define protection policies. Now, if you want to protect the data, again, you'll have to categorize the data or tag the data into different levels of hierarchy, whether it's top secret, confidential, restricted. So all these three pillars, the critical pillars of data security program, is covered by one unified solution, that is GTB. Okay? With one single agent. We will cover data discovery, whether it is on-prem or on cloud. We do the data classification and tagging of all the data documents. And we also help you in protecting those classified documents from exfiltration. So basically the 80% of critical work is already done by GTB in your data security journey. Yes, I do agree that some of the organization will directly jump into DLP capabilities without having the visibility on the previous ones. But again, it is always a guesswork. Defining DLP policies without knowing where the data is there and without categorizing them is always a guesswork and will end up in false positives and just to cover the compliance. But here with one single solution, you're covering the major aspects of data security program. Next, what are the different techniques which is used to detect the sensitive data from exfiltration? One of them is pattern detection, whether it is your keywords or regular expression. So this is based on the predefined formats. For example, national IDs of all the regions, passport numbers, IBAN details, bank details, phone numbers, zip codes, PIN codes, etc. So with the help of keywords and regular expressions, we do the pattern detection and help you in preventing the data. In any complex environments, or for example, let's say in sectors, for example, that is manufacturing and realtors, they have design documents, drawing files, or probably for pharma, you might have some formulas, chemical structures. So here we do the precise detection with the help of digital fingerprinting technology, where we split the data into different smaller pieces, assign a hash value to it, and create a fingerprint profile. So whenever GTB detects this hash value getting exfiltrated, we do the exact match of that and prevent the data from exfiltration. So since it is based on hash value, we also eliminate false positives because we are doing the precise matching here. And we also do the partial match. Even if some of the hashes match, even if you are sharing the partial data, we can go ahead and detect. And the best part of fingerprinting is it can be done on both structured and unstructured files. Whether you want to fingerprint any of your databases or any of your unstructured data, both can be done. So these are some of the common examples. That is your employee records and databases for HR department, credit card details and bank account details for finance or banking sectors, patient health records for the health sector, insurance departments. So all this can be protected with the help of digital fingerprinting technology. Now let's understand the different modules we have at the high level architecture and what are the different channels where GTB can help you in protecting the data. First and foremost, let me talk about the central console. This is the heart of our product. Basically one single management console for all your policy management, workflow management, reporting, event handling. Everything is taken care by one single management dashboard. So unlike any legacy players in the market or any traditional players, we don't have multiple dashboards to configure multiple things. So some of the players have different dashboard to see the reports, different dashboard to configure policies, and different dashboard for data classification, or for that matter, different agent also for data classification and DLP. So here we are eliminating all those confusions or complications. One single management dashboard for all your configurations, viewing the report, checking the events, and managing the workflow. One of the best part or the best module of our product is Endpoint Protector, which is an agent-based DLP, which will take care of your web inspection with the help of TCP scanner. So what do we mean by that? Any data getting exfiltrated on HTTP, HTTPS, webmail, FTP, RDP, WhatsApp, Zoom, Telegram, Teams, any channel for that matter. We go ahead and detect as long as there is some sensitive data, irrespective of the file type. Right. We also have local PC discovery for the data at rest residing in your endpoint machines. You can scan and give you the entire visibility that what files are residing in your system, who is the file owner, what is the file size, what sensitive information the file contains, upon which you can take multiple remedial actions, whether you want to classify them, whether you want to delete them, whether you want to move it to a different location. All those things can be configured. Control on your external devices, any external device getting connected, whether it is your USB, hard disk. We also support MTP, PTP. That is, even if you insert any of your mobile devices, we can still do that detection and give you the visibility of all the file transfers. Either we can block the external device or keep the monitoring enabled and give you the visibility of all the file transfers happening bidirectionally, whether from USB to system or system to USB. You'll have the visibility of the entire transfer. Next is we also have a basic level of application controls where if any unauthorized or unsanctioned application is running in the environment, for example, nowadays people are downloading torrents or Firefox is being, blocked by the company as unsanctioned. So these are the applications which are run by the end users. So we also have an option to blacklist them by completely blocking the application so that end user will no longer be able to open those applications. Right. Next is we also have control over print channel, where we can restrict printing of any classified or any sensitive documents from getting printed, irrespective of the printer machine details. We completely focus on the data. We are data centric. As long as there is some sensitive data within the files, we can restrict or we can give you the visibility of who is printing what data. We also have audit capabilities on your shared folders, network shares, file shares, where we can keep an audit of all the user activities done, whether he's opening any file, editing any file, deleting any file from any of the file shares. All the events will be captured for you. So built-in classification, as I mentioned earlier, for both file and email level. We have multiple functionalities in classification, whether you can allow the users to manually classify the documents, we can force them. And the best part is we also have an option to automatically classify the document based on the sensitive data without any manual intervention. And also other controls like controls over clipboard, watermarking. And another critical point what I wanted to mention here is we do have OCR at all the levels: endpoint, discovery, and inspector. So OCR engine is also built in. You don't have to set up a separate server for OCR. Everything comes built in with this unified solution. Right. So this endpoint protector is agent based. Now coming to the data residing in your cloud repositories, data at rest in your cloud repositories, whether it is your Exchange, SharePoint, OneDrive, S3 bucket, shared folders, Dropbox, Box, Google Drive, Azure, databases, any data or any file residing in any of your cloud repositories, any of these cloud repositories, we can help you in scanning them, giving you the visibility of what files are being stored, who is storing them, who has access to it, who is modifying the files, who is accessing the files, who is downloading the files. And on top of that, we can also help you in classifying all those files sitting in your cloud repositories. Okay. Last but not the least is agentless module, which is our GTB inspector module, which works at the network level for both email and web. We can integrate with your SMTP proxy servers with ICAP protocol, where we can get the decrypted traffic here and monitor the exfiltration on HTTP, HTTPS with agentless. Again, we also can monitor email agentless at the gateway level, where we can redirect all the outgoing emails to our inspector with the necessary remedial actions. It is we can always monitor the emails going outside the organization. In case if you want to block them, we can block the emails which has some sensitive data. We also have an approval-based mechanism where we can quarantine the emails, get the approval from the manager, and then the email can either be released or deleted. So we can also set up a workflow approach where only after the approval, the email can either be released or deleted. So these are the different modules what GTB comprises, basically covering all your critical channels with respect to data exfiltration. I've also jotted down a few key use cases, which I'm also going to, walk you through in a quick demo after this, where I want to show you a glance on our dashboard and all these capabilities in real time. Some of the key use cases is channel control, where we try to attempt to prevent data exfiltration to USB or print channels and clipboard controls. SSL HTTPS inspection, whenever we are trying to attempt to upload any sensitive data via HTTP, HTTPS, SMTP, webmail, FTP, SFTP, RDP, WhatsApp, Zoom, Telegram channels, we can prevent and monitor them. At the same time, email inspection, attempt to transfer sensitive data or webmail unauthorized destinations. So with agentless approach, even if the end user is trying to send any email from their mobile phones or any unmanaged device, their personal laptops, iPads, we can still monitor it. The emails will be still redirected to our GTB inspector. Basically, it is nothing but a mail transfer agent where we accept all the outgoing emails, monitor it based on the attachment, based on the email body, and then take the necessary remedial action. The most important thing, controlling all your GenAI sites, any data exfiltrations happening on any LLMs, chatbots, AI sites can be monitored and prevented. Any password protected file getting exfiltrated, again, we can monitor the and give you the visibility that this user was trying to upload some password protected file. We have OCR capabilities at all the levels, whether it is at the endpoint level, network level, and discovery. Data discovery and auto remediation. So this is one of the use cases where for some of the notice period users. Okay, I heard something. Is it a question or?
No, you can continue, Akash. You can continue.
Perfect. So data discovery and auto remediation. Basically, we have one of the use case where to monitor the notice period users, put their systems under scanning and completely move or auto remediate all the files or quarantine all the files to a different location so that they don't misuse the files or send it to their personal emails or personal devices in any such case. Built-in data classification with our own native engine, no third-party integrations. Yes, we do offer, if you already have a data classification, we do offer the integration with Microsoft and Titus, Golden Gems. But natively, we have our own engine where we have multiple capabilities, which I'll give you a glance in a few moments. And reporting and dashboard, where the management can directly get into the dashboard, analyze who is the top risk user, where is the highest violation happening on which channel, which is the policy which is being violated at the most, who are your top 10 violators in one single management console. So let's go through all these use cases in real time. Let's test them and see how effective the solution is and how easy it is to manage and review the details. Let me bring up my test environment. Okay. So this is how the dashboard looks. The central console, what I was talking during the architecture phase. This is how it looks. You will have the complete reporting part here, the dashboard, where you will have the risk overview. Based on the severity, we'll gather the report here. And at the high level summary, you get to know what is the top channel on which the violation is happening, who is the top source who's violating the policy, from which department he belongs to, on which destination is he trying to do that, total number of events on daily basis, location wise. And if you scroll down, you have segregated reports. These are your top 10 policies violated. And the best part is all of them are hyperlinked. You don't have to, have a complex query to filter out any of the required events. No, everything is filtered, hyperlinked. You can click on any one of them and you'll be redirected to those events. Similarly, we have a report for actions taken, how many events were blocked, how many events were logged, how many events were classified, violations done on different channels, clipboard, HTTPS, Office, Outlook, USB, webmail, Windows Explorer. So once you integrate with Active Directory, violations done by different departments will show up here. This is the violations by source. These are your top 5 violators for this month. You can always filter it out for last 3 months, for last 6 months, for last 1 year. And this report will always be scheduled on daily, weekly, monthly basis to the management for easier reviewing. But on top of this, I also want to show you how easy it is to configure policies in different channels. This is a very simple user interface and even simpler configurations. This is where all our different channels reside, and this is where we do the policy configurations for each of them. Right? I've already predefined some DLP rules, DLP discovery and classification rules. So let's go one by one. Let me start with our core capability, that is classification. So as I mentioned, we also have auto classification, because even after giving awareness programs to the end user, they will not always end up doing the classification. Even if they're doing it, they might do the wrong classification, right? So in any such situations, how GTB can help you? So first and foremost, if you see, as and when I copy any sensitive data, this is the Emirates ID with respect to UAE region. As soon as I copy that, an event is captured with respect to clipboard controls. So one of the user is tried copying some sensitive data and an alert is being generated. Right? Now, let's say whenever the user is trying to add some sensitive data within any document and try to exfiltrate it without classifying it, if he's trying to close or if he's trying to save, with the help of our automatic classification, we help you in automatically detecting the content residing within the document. And if you see my document, as soon as I saved the document was classified as confidential. So you can force the user also, you can allow the user to manually classify. But even if they miss out on all these things, we still have an option to automatically classify the document. But even after doing all these things, if the user tries adding even more critical data, for example, if the user is trying to add let's add some credit card information in the same document. So if I try to save this, you can see the document again based on the content has changed to restricted. because there is some credit card numbers which is marked, which is more critical than Emirates ID, and the classification has been changed from confidential to restricted. So even in any case, if the user is trying to mislabel any documents, as long as there is some sensitive data present in the document, we can help you in automatically classifying them. Exactly similarly, you can do the same thing on your emails as well. Any email sent can be manually classified first or can be auto-classified based on the content or recipients. Right? What about all your legacy documents which is residing in your system already or residing in your cloud repositories? For that, we have data discovery, where you can scan the data at rest and have the complete summary details. So once the scanning is completed, this is how the visibility is. You get the summary, how many files were there in the system, how many files were scanned. So here around 680 files were there in the system. All 680 files were scanned. This is the scan size. So out of 680 files, around 140 files are matching the policy. And around 600 files have been automatically classified. Because you can't go to each and every file and manually classify it. It is practically impossible. So that is the exact reason why we do the data discovery, to give you the visibility and for you to identify who is storing what data. And on top of that, you can take the action. So if you want more details, it is just simple. Double click, you'll get the file name, who was the file owner, what is the file size, last access date and time, and the policy which it was violating, whether it was credit card number, social security number. All these are predefined policies built in with the help of regular expressions or algorithms. For CCN, we use low and check algorithm to reduce the false positives. In case if there is any custom requirement for the organization, so like for their bank account numbers or their custom employee IDs, whatever it may be, we can help you in creating custom policies as well. And we don't have any limitations on creating policies. It is just one-time activity where we can help you in creating those policies, after which you can start defining them on different channels. To get more details, you can click on any one of them and you'll drill down to even more details to know the file name, its file path, what was it classified as? It was classified as secret, the user, the timestamp, and which policy the file violates. It has credit card number, social security number, and this is the data trigger. So exact same thing can be done on your cloud targets or network shares as well. So now, as we discussed the data security program, these are the first two critical layers where we need to identify where is the data residing, who is having access to it, and on top of that, we help you in classifying all those files. Now comes the third critical layer or the third pillar, which is protecting your data from exfiltration. So that is where we have the endpoint network DLP, where I've already defined a rule to prevent any sensitive data exfiltration from any side. So let me open AI. Let's talk to it. Let's ask it something. Let's see if it is responding. Yes. So AI is responding in everything. Now, in between, what if the user tries to add some sensitive data and tries to send it? Immediately, I get a notification or a pop-up saying blocked. Whatever data I was trying to upload over HTTPS is violating the credit card number policy, due to which it is blocking my action. Right? Same thing goes with the file attachment as well. Even if you're uploading any attachment which has some sensitive data, I can go ahead and detect. At the same time, some smart users, what they do, they try to take a screenshot and then try to exfiltrate, thinking that it will not catch or any solution will not catch. That is the beauty. GTB has OCR at all the levels, endpoint, network, and discovery. So I've taken a screenshot of some credit card numbers and I'm trying to upload it. This is my personal mail. As soon as I do that, again, it's blocked. whatever data I'm trying to send over webmail is writing the credit card number policy. Blocked. On top of this, again, some users, they try to password protect and then exfiltrate the data, thinking that they'll not be able to read the content. Let's exfiltrate data by password protecting it. Even in such cases, we go ahead and block. Whatever data I'm trying to send over webmail is writing the encrypted file policy. So irrespective of the site the user is working on, as long as he's trying to exfiltrate sensitive data, we can go ahead and apply the remedial actions. Either he's working on Teams or he's trying to transfer some files via WeTransfer or any file uploading site, or any meeting sites also, Google Drive, WebEx, whatever it is. We go ahead and detect and take the necessary action. At the same time, if the user is trying to print any classified document or restricted document, we can go ahead and detect that as well. Okay, so I've already shown that if any user is trying to print any sensitive data or copy any sensitive data, we can capture an event for that. Coming to email, as I discussed earlier, any email which has some sensitive data can always be quarantined if it contains any sensitive data, and this is how the manager will receive the alert. CCN violation was done by your, and these are the details what the manager will be able to see. Who was the source? To which destination was he trying to send? What was the severity of the email? What was the email subject? What was the content of the email? Which policy does it violate? What was the timestamp? And the best part here is the manager need not log into the console to release or delete. Everything is done within the email alert. He can review the details here, and within the same email, either he can release it or delete it. If he deletes it, we'll notify the end user who sent an email saying that your email was deleted as it was containing some sensitive information. Right. Similarly, we have controls over your applications where we can block unauthorized applications from running. File share DLP, as I mentioned, we have monitoring of all the activities done on your network shares, file shares. If he's creating any new file, editing any particular file, deleting those files from that location with the file name and with the destination details, we capture the details for you. Right. And one more unique feature what we have here is the watermarking. So what you're seeing on my screen is the screen watermark. So there are multiple options for watermark. One is the document watermark, what we have, which is residing within the document. Even when you're trying to print it, this watermark will always be residing. Screen watermark. So why do we have the screen watermark? Let's say the customer is in a meeting and is sharing his screen and is sharing some classified document from his organization. Someone sitting remotely in the meeting can take a photo from his mobile phone, right? To have an authority or authentication saying that this data belongs to your organization, you can have the screen watermark. So whichever window you open, the screen watermark will always remain. You can align it in multiple places. We also have an option to have scattered watermark so that even if the user or someone tries to crop the image and do something, they'll not be able to do it because the watermark will be spread across the screen. Okay. On top of this, yes, there are multiple role-based access control, integration capabilities. We also have built-in AI, which can help you in troubleshooting your own and helping you to guide how to create policies with respect to events detected. We also have cloud monitoring, where we can capture all your activities done on cloud, whether it is OneDrive, SharePoint, and Teams. If you're opening any file, downloading any file, so these are the actions what we can capture. File viewed, file downloaded, file created, folder created, file modified, sharing, to whom it was shared, do they have read access, write access, whether it was internal, whether it was external. The entire visibility, called trace vault, will be visible to you. So I see we have 10 more minutes left. So these were some of the core capabilities which I wanted to show in this session, so that you have a glance or an idea how we can help the customers to safeguard or protect their data to stay within the organization. So we are open to take your queries now. So if you have any questions or any doubts or any specific use cases, definitely we can take it up.
Please feel free to put in the chat box so we can answer all your questions. Anyone has any questions or any use cases or any doubt, we can clear it. Okay, Akash, one question is there. Can we have a screen watermark per user based, like username should display on screen so that we'll know from which laptop data got leaked? That is the first question.
Great. Yes. Thanks for asking that. I missed out that point. Definitely, yes. You do have different placeholders. You can have the computer name, username, their IP address, classification label, and the timestamp. So you can enable any of them or all of them.
Perfect. The next question is, what is the size of customer that we should look at?
We start from 0 to 10,000, 15,000. We have customers starting from 100, going to 25,000, 30,000 customer base. So there's no limitation. We do serve enterprise level customers. There's no limitation for end user specs.
Perfect. The next question is, does it work on Linux, Win, SCP, and other SSL apps?
Yes, great. Again, so we have different protocols, not only HTTP, HTTPS. We can also define rules based on SSH, SFTPs, RDP, FTPs, and we can prevent from connecting to any unauthorized servers or Linux. And also, I'll add one more point. This is on the production side. And coming to agent side, also we have agents for Windows, Mac, and Linux. We support all the three major OS. We have agents for different layers of Linux, Mac, and Windows. Yes.
So the next question is, how about the license type, per device or per user?
It's per device, and for email, it is per mailbox. The number of endpoint machines you have in your organizations, and the number of mailboxes active.
All right. The next question is minimum license purchase.
Again, as I mentioned, there's no restriction for minimum. You can start with 50 or 100. It goes up to 25,000, 30,000 end user systems also.
Okay. The next question is also, how does Notify Manager work? How to add manager?
Okay, one more great question. So here, yes, we also have an option to notify manager at the endpoint and at the email level. How do we capture your email or the manager details is with help of Active Directory. So if the manager detail or their attributes are perfectly added in the Active Directory, for example, I'm the user, and in my Active Directory, my manager attribute should be there, his name and his email ID. So we fetch the details from your Active Directory and send an email to your manager.
All right. The next question from Ashok. He has mentioned few points. First point, AI or ML, then password protected, slaving disk, watermark other than printing. So, and then email selective O365 or Google Workspace or on-prem exchange, web to web, and presentation layer. So that is his question.
We do support, we do support all the points what has been mentioned. Coming to classification, we don't have AI-based classification. The only reason is we will end up in false positive. If we leave the AI to classify our files, yes, it might classify the documents based on sensitive content. But what is confidential for me might not be confidential for you. It might be top secret for you. So that is the only reason why we don't depend on AI for auto classification. So we have something called as content mapping, where we do the mapping of the sensitive data to respective labels. So for confidential, I've mapped PII, GDPR, HIPAA, SS, social security number. Again, if you go for restricted, I've mapped credit card number, PCI details. So you can map it accordingly as per the organization requirement, and auto classification will take place to avoid false positives. But rest, yes, we do cover all the rest of the points which was addressed.
All right. The next question is data classification and DLP, including single licenses, or we can choose what we need.
It comes with single license, to be very honest. It is a complete DLP endpoint suite. But again, if there's any requirement to go with just to cover or ensure the compliance requirements of the customer, you can go with basic DLP, where we can help you with device controls or print controls, or the basic controls of DLP, which covers your compliance for the end user.
All right. The next question is, does it support like Android, iOS, and BYOD as well?
We don't have agents for mobile devices or handheld devices. Actually, no other DLP players in the market have. Even if they claim they integrate with third-party MDM or MEM solutions, mobile device management and mobile application management. So currently, we don't have. We only have it for managed devices, that is system, desktops and laptops.
All right. The next question is, need for DLP if IRM is already deployed.
IRM is it is there to to encrypt your files after leaving the organization, but to prevent the data from leaving the organization through different channels, first you need to identify where your data is residing. That is very important. So that is the reason we have this data security program where we help you in identifying where your data is residing, help you in classifying them, and on top of that, help you in protecting those data from exfiltration. In the next hop, after DLP comes the rights management solution, where you can integrate. We also have the integration capabilities with your rights management. And once the DLP capability protection is enabled, in the next hop, the IRM protection will be applied, or the IRM policies will be applied. For example, if the file is going, we have discovered the file and classified it as confidential. Now in your IRM policies, you can say any confidential file which is sent to via email should only be having read access. So all those things come in the next hop. So before IRM is these three phases or these three layers where we help you in identifying the data, classifying them, and protecting them before exfiltration.
The next question is CASB included here, where it controls cloud uploads and downloads?
I won't call it a full-fledged CASB, but we have a partial level where we will not have any controls, but we have something called as Trace Vault, where we can give you the visibility on what activities is done by the user on SharePoint, OneDrive, and Teams. If he's viewing any file, downloading any file, editing any file, sharing those files. So this visibility can be given as a monitoring tool, but we will not be able to have any controls like restrict the download, block the sharing, will not be able to do. So it is not a full-fledged CASB, but we do have a partial level of it, if I can say.
Perfect. The next question is, how does GTB DLP help organizations comply with GDPR, HIPAA, PCI, DSS, and other data privacy regulations?
Yes. Another great question. So all those comes with built-in policies. The compliances are built-in. We ensure the compliance coverage, whether it is GDPR, HIPAA, PHI, PCI, PII, financial-related data, PDPL related to Bahrain, ADIX related to Abu Dhabi, health insurance sector. And on top of that, in case if you have any other compliance which is not mentioned here, we can also help you in creating those categories for you to ensure the compliance coverage.
All right. The next question is, how can we differentiate in a nutshell from other XYZ solutions as sales perspective?
Yes. As I mentioned, so there is no hassle on going around configure different policies on different dashboards. It is one single management dashboard. On top of that, you are getting data discovery, data classification, as well as DLP with one single agent. So there are no multiple agents, or there is no dependency on third-party integration for classification tools. So we have our own native engine for classification. We have Watermark built in with that engine, where the dependency is completely reduced. On top of this, some of the traditional or legacy players, they don't have OCR at all the levels. Even if they have OCR, again, there's a dependency for an extra server and all that. So here, Again, OCR is available on all the channels without any external server required. Everything is built in. And in terms of deployment, it is only you just have to download the packaged ISO image. There's no upfront cost for investing on database or getting the license for OS. No, it is just an ISO image where we have packaged OS and database for you. Everything is built in. You don't have to invest on anything separately. So in terms of deployment, it's very simple. You just download the ISO image, import, and the server is up and running. And we are also cloud ready. So if the customer wants to move to cloud, yes, they can deploy the servers on their cloud, and they can still provide all the functionality and have the DLP capabilities enabled. So these are some of the
next, yeah.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. So the next question is, will it monitor social apps like WhatsApp and block restricted files, etc.?
Yes, definitely. So all the social platforms, definitely we do the detection. For WhatsApp, we have a separate protocol defined for that, because WhatsApp, as all of us are aware, as soon as we open the WhatsApp, it says end-to-end encrypted. So whatever data we are trying to send over WhatsApp, no one will be able to monitor that. So what we have a simple log or block policy. Any file getting exfiltrated via WhatsApp can be monitored, or you can go ahead and block them. Definitely. And all your rest of the social sites will come under HTTPS. So definitely we do protect data exfiltrations on all this, whether it is your LinkedIn, Facebook, or any file uploading site for that matter, with the help of protocol.
All right. The next question is, DLP is a network specific, not outside the network. IRM is all pervasive.
So DLP, in our case, what you can do, so there are two things. Well, first and foremost, our agent is capable of holding the policies offline also. That is one part. So even if you're outside of the network, the policies will still be in place, the restrictions will still be in place, but at the same time, the events will be captured once the system comes back online. Now, we have one more option where you can NAT the servers with a public IP, provide an FQDN. So if the user is working within the corporate network, it will resolve the private IP. If the user is working outside the network, if he's a roaming user working from home or on a different location, still in real time, the agent will resolve the FQDN with the help of public IP and still communicate to central console in real time. So it is working on-premise, off-premise, and all environments.
All right. The next question is, does it support all features for all OS, Windows, Mac, and Linux, as other DLP bifurcate features between their OS?
Whatever features we discuss now, yes, except the classification, because the classification is a limitation from Linux and Mac side. It is an OS limitation. But on Mac, we have email classification, which is already enabled. File classification will be released by March 8th. So on Windows, we have classification. On Mac, we are coming up with file classification. Email classification is already there. But Linux, as a limitation from the OS side, we don't have classification on Linux.
All right. What about DSPM?
Yes, again, we do have DSPM, Data Security Posture Management, where we help you in identifying the sensitive data and helping you in classifying them with the help of data discovery. And we also give you the visibility on who has the access to those files, who is the owner of it, where is it residing, and all those details, and also the sensitive content which it resides.
The next question is, if we wanted to do any implementation or admin trainings, is there any portal available?
We do have certification portals available. We can share that with you. We do have knowledge base access, and the knowledge transfer sessions can definitely be arranged.
Great. The last question, how do you do fingerprinting?
So for fingerprinting, we use something called a security manager. Again, so this is the tool responsible to do the fingerprinting. What we do is we do the fingerprinting for both structured and unstructured files, right? So let's say if you're fingerprinting some unstructured file, what we do, we break down those content into very small pieces and assign hash value to each and every small piece. And on top of that, we create a fingerprint profile based on this hash created. So whenever agent detects these hash values getting exfiltrated, we do the match and detect and also apply the remedial action whether you want to monitor it or block it. That can be done. So here, that is why we claim it as precise detection. Based on the fingerprinting done, we have created the hash value, and based on the hash only, we are detecting the exfiltration of data. So here, there is no false positives. It is complete precise detection. In any case, let's say you have fingerprinted a contract of 20, 30 pages, okay, but the end user is trying to copy some of the core clauses of the agreement and is trying to exfiltrate. So even if the user is trying to exfiltrate any partial data from the document, with the help of matching the hash values, we can go ahead and detect the exfiltration of data.
All right, that's all. And anyone, any questions, you can please feel free to put in the chat box. If not, then thank you. Thank you all for joining. And if any demo, POCs, everything is needed, so please feel free to contact the numbers which is mentioned in the chat box. You can connect us anytime and we'll be guiding you again with the proper full demo, and we can do a POC also so you can understand how well the solution will be working in your organizations. And thank you. Thank you all for taking out time and joining today's webinar. Have a great day ahead.